Dead giveaway. Dead giveaway. This Cliffjumper is a dead giveaway because I... Blah, 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 blah. What's up, Ragin Nation? How's it going? This is Alex Yu, and you're watching The Road to TF5. This is just Websters. We're talking about Transformers last night. This is episode number 57, and in this episode, we're going to talk about all that exciting stuff that has been going on in Detroit. They have been filming for just a little bit over a week, and they will be filming for the next 7 weeks in Detroit. Moving on after that, they're taking the production over to Chicago, and then after that, to the international locations. But for now, they are in Detroit. And we're going to talk about that. We are going to talk about that, but before we talk about that, we got to talk about something else. I would like to address something, and that is, for the fans of the IMAX large screen format, I'm sure a lot of you would like to know if and will Transformers Last Night be presented in the IMAX large screen format. Will it be presented in IMAX? That is the big question. The answer is yes, because IMAX Corporation just signed a 5-picture deal with Paramount Pictures, and one of those films in the 5-picture deal will be Transformers The Last Night, so it's time to get excited. If you are a fan of the IMAX format, or if you've never seen a film in the IMAX, a large screen format, but you live in a city that has a theater with an IMAX screen near or in your city, then this is your opportunity to see giant freaking robots on a giant freaking screen. I have seen all 4 Transformers films in the IMAX format. In Transformers, the very first one in 2007, it had an IMAX re-release with extra scenes. There was a few minutes of extra scenes added that weren't even seen in the deleted scenes of the Blu-ray, so that was awesome. And of course, Transformers Revenge of the Fallen had the Devastator and forest fight scenes shot with IMAX cameras, so that looked awesome. Transformers Dark of the Moon had a digital media remastering in IMAX 3D, so that looked good even though it wasn't shot with IMAX cameras. And of course, Transformers Age of Extinction had these new state-of-the-art digital IMAX 3D cameras developed just for the filming of Transformers Age of Extinction. And of course, Michael Bay pushed the envelope by having a ridiculous amount of IMAX shot scenes, and it looked great. Anyways, looks like they are doing the same thing with the presentation of Transformers Last Night, so we can expect to see it in IMAX. Most likely a 3D post-conversion will take place, because of course they would like to make a lot of money. But there's no word on if they are shooting with IMAX cameras. I'm not sure if they're going to do that. They might not do that. They just haven't done that yet. If they are going to be doing that, they're going to announce it. And if they are going to do that, most likely, of course, they will be shooting for the big set pieces. Maybe the grand finale. So anyways, that's what's going on. It's something to get very, very excited about. If you don't have an IMAX screen in your city, then I'm sorry. Anyways, let's move on and talk about Detroit. And let's talk about this. Let's talk about this very, very curious photo. And it is of a red Camaro. This was posted by In Disguise 48, and here's a red Camaro. Now, this is not a new Camaro. This is definitely not the 2016 or 2017 Camaro that Bumblebee is. And the big question is this an Autobot? Is this a vehicle that is going to be in Transformers Last Night? Look at it. It's a red Camaro. It's got 2 Decepticon kills on it. And I think a lot of people are thinking that is Cliffjumper. I'm going to tell you right now that this is not a vehicle that is going to appear in Transformers Last Night. And there's a lot of things that are dead giveaways, okay? Dead giveaway. Dead giveaway. This Cliffjumper is a dead giveaway because I... Blah, 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 blah. Okay, so... many things give away the fact that this is not going to appear. First of all, the Decepticon kill thing, come on, that's a Hound thing. That's not a Cliffjumper thing. Another thing is that the Autobot logo. Why on earth would a vehicle put an Autobot logo so obvious on the side? We already know that this is going to be an Autobot. They don't do that. They don't do that sort of thing. I mean, the Autobots just don't do that, okay? Another thing is that it is a Camaro. Bumblebee is a Camaro. This vehicle is a Camaro. This is what I would like to call conflict of interest. You can't have 2 Camaros in the same movie that are 2 different characters. It's just like what I said about Crosshairs and Sideswipe. You can't have 2 Corvettes. If you have the opportunity, or rather, if Michael Bay has the opportunity to put more cars, he's not going to put 2 of the same car. Believe me, he's not going to do that, okay? Another thing that is the biggest dead giveaway is if you look really, really closely on the handle where you open the door, it actually says right there Transformers. You're going to have to really, really zoom in and enhance that photo, but it says Transformers right there. So that is the vehicle that belongs to a fan. That's not Cliffjumper, okay? Not happening. Now, you got to pay attention to these things just because there are a lot of times in the past where vehicles were just there. There are a lot of vehicles that look like they could be Autobots or Decepticons that were there, but they were just parked cars. They were just vehicles that happened to be there. For example, remember in Transformers Dark of the Moon, this showed up? It was Rollbar. It was this fan-made, like a custom Jeep, and it looked amazing. It looked so sleek, and then, and a lot of people thought that this was going to be in Transformers Dark of the Moon. It wasn't. It just belonged to a fan who wanted to get his vehicle on set, alright? And another thing is that we saw the white Camaro that was on set, and once again, it was a white Camaro, and for some reason, it was parked with the other vehicles, and I think that it was like a misdirection in some ways. It was kind of like misinformation, and then a lot of people thought that this could be Prowl, myself included. But I was just thinking, you know what? That's kind of weird how they would have a white Camaro and then the new Camaro, and they're parked right next to each other. It just doesn't seem to make any sense. So this is not Cliffjumper, so we're going to dispel that, that rumor right there. Another thing that I would like to address is, there's this video circling around, and a lot of people have been posting it to me or sending it to me, and that is a video of crosshairs, and it's really just a photo of crosshairs, but presented in a YouTube video. But you hear the voice of crosshairs. You hear the actor who's voicing crosshairs, and he's talking about Slingshot. That is not a scene, or that is not voiceover work done for Transformers Last Night. It is actually voiceover work done for Transformers Age of Extinction, and whoever made that video was trying to fool you guys into thinking that these voices that you hear where Crosshairs talks about Slingshot is actually in Transformers The Last Night. It's not. Okay? This was stuff that was filmed in Transformers Age of Extinction, and he happened to just put some audio in there. So I'm dispelling that right now. Okay? And you know what? These kind of things seem to happen. I remember in Transformers Age of Extinction, there was this behind-the-scenes video, or someone shot a video with their camera phone in Hong Kong in the production of Transformers Age of Extinction, where you have Galvatron and Stinger, they're just parked on the street, and then you have these Hong Kong citizens running one direction, and then you hear this roar, supposedly from Grimlock, and then you see those same people walk the opposite direction. That was a fake. That was 100% fake. There was no way that they would include audio that sounds that good. Okay? Any of that audio would have been made through ADR. That's called additional dialogue replacement. Okay? There's no way that they would have included that roar in the actual filming. It just wouldn't sound good. Okay? So, you know, a lot of people like to make these kind of videos to fool the fans. I'm not buying any of it. Okay? Anyways, so I just wanted to address that because a lot of people have been bringing that to my attention, and I'm just going to tell you right now, all that stuff is fake. Okay? Anyways, so let's talk about the filming of Transformers Last Night, and it's going on in Detroit. And I was just going on over on Twitter, and I saw a whole bunch of photos, actually, and it's really, really exciting. These photos were posted by Tim Reinman on Twitter, also the Banana Doctor, and also Tim Mallon, and I would like to just show you some of these photos. This is a photo of the sign to set. The working title is E7, and then this is, I believe, is this Capitol Park in Detroit or downtown? This is downtown in Detroit, and they're doing a little bit of drone work. Of course, it's a private event, and then there's no parking between Thursday and Saturday. And then here you see, I'm not sure what this building is, but apparently there's gunfire taking place there. You could see on the caption here, "Fire in the hole, bam, bam, gunshots." shots, and they have these large boom cranes just so that they can film from the exterior inside, alright? So there's most likely some human stuff going on in there, human action. Obviously, two parties are involved, human bad guys, and also most likely the human main characters like Isabella Moner and also Kate Yeager, played by Mark Wahlberg. Now, I believe this building is the old state savings bank building, and it is being used, the interior location is being used for filming. And then here's Isabella Moner. This photo was taken up by the Banana Doctor. And you know what? The first thing I notice right now, like first in this photo, is of course the best pizza in Detroit. No, I'm just kidding. But that looks good. I would love to have some. If anybody lives in Detroit, please let me know how that pizza is. But the one thing that I noticed right away is Isabella Moner's wardrobe. And I'm really liking it. The reason why I say this is because we have had Megan Fox. We have Nicola Ann Peltz, who plays Tessa. We also have Carly, played by Rosie Huntington-Whiteley. I almost forgot her name. All of them appear in action sequences, but they just don't look the part. They're either wearing heels, or they're dressing too skimpy, or they just don't look the part. You know what I'm saying? So I'm actually liking her wardrobe here. You can see, there's a little bit of makeup work done to her face to represent like she like has some dirt on her face. So that shows you that she's involved with an action sequence, some stunt work. She's dressed for the part. Okay, a lot of the times I was watching Transformers: Dark of the Moon, I was just thinking, how does Carly run with heels on? And it just kind of bothered me a little bit. I mean, not that much, but still, it was like something that felt ridiculous. So I'm glad she at least looks the part. So that's looking good. Now here's Michael Bay with his assistant, and then also there's that building again. I don't know what's going on there, but it looks like there's definitely going to be a major human scene taking place there. Here is, of course, one of those military jeeps with the upside down V. Now this is the Pursuit. The Pursuit is a Porsche Cayenne with a camera crane mounted on top of it. The reason why they use it is, of course, with a Porsche having all that horsepower, they can really do some really awesome car chase camera work with, of course, the Pursuit. So really awesome stuff. Now the Detroit Fire Department is there because it looks like they will be doing some crazy action work, which most likely will involve pyrotechnics and maybe gunfire. So of course they need to be there for safety. What else is going on there? Not too much, just more shots of this building, and it looks like it's pretty cool. So that's what's going on. They are filming at, of course, I'd mentioned before, downtown Capitol Park and the State Savings Bank building at Fort and Shelby. Now, there are a couple of other locations that they are filming at. One of those locations is the Presbyterian Church on Woodward Avenue. And now this looks like a pretty unique building, and then we have a little bit of interior shots. And you can see that it's quite run down. It's quite empty for a while, so that's why it looks the way it does. But you know what? This interior is kind of giving me a National Treasure kind of vibe. Of course, they're looking for, the humans are looking for some kind of like plot device. I don't know what that could be, but maybe it's in here. I don't know. Something about the inside of this church really makes me feel that something is hidden here. Okay, I just get that feeling. Okay, those photos were posted by, or rather taken by Robert Monaghan, and then now this is very interesting. These are photos taken by U of Muscle, and what he has here is photos of these I don't know what you even call these things. These are well, it looks like a Chinese mill plant, okay? Because you have these silos, and they have Chinese writing on them. And you know what it kind of reminds me of? It reminds me of the final battle where Transformers Age of Extinction took place, where Optimus was fighting Lockdown in that factory, which also had silos. Of course, they don't look the same, but these silos were actually constructed over at the Michigan Motion Picture Studio. And they have these Chinese characters on it. So I'm going to theorize right now. Of course, this is to represent that this is a scene in China, okay, or Hong Kong. And now, this is where it gets crazy. The last known location of the Dinobots was in Hong Kong. This is a scene that most likely will appear in Hong Kong. This is the scene where the Dinobots appear. That is my theory right now, okay? Because just like I said, the last known location of the Dinobots was Hong Kong. They just went to roam free. And a long time ago, a very, very long time ago, I mentioned in a video that if Transformers 5 wants to do well, and by doing well, I mean at the box office, they gotta bring in China. They have to bring in China because China makes up a huge part of the international box office. You cannot leave China out of it. And if you put China in a Transformers film, that means you have to put in the Dinobots, because the Dinobots are the characters that still reside in China. So this is the location of where the Dinobots are. That's my theory right now. I could be wrong, I could be right, but anyways, it's plausible. So that's what's going on over there. These photos were taken by You Have Muscle. Thank you very much for posting them. And finally, what I'd like to talk about is some stuff over at Arizona. Now, I know that Arizona filming is done, but there's some videos that I found that look really, really awesome, and I just got to bring them to your attention. And that is this low-flying Apache helicopter that is flying with the military vehicles, and it looks really, really good. This was a video posted by and Deji Bold. So I'm just going to leave you a link in the description box below. You're going to want to check it out because it looks like a pretty cool scene. You have an Apache flying really, really low with these other military vehicles, and it looks good. Speaking of Apache helicopter, you're going to want to check out this video right here. This is a video of the Transformers movie. The title is Transformers movie aerial filming. What it actually is this Apache helicopter that is flown by Scott Tennyson and Bill Lee, with the videography, or rather the camera footage captured by super duper helicopter pilot Fred North. And he's done a lot of work. He's done a lot of camera helicopter work for Fast and Furious, James Bond films, and even the Hobbit films. He has done a lot of aerial photography, and he's doing the same thing with Transformers last night. And check out this video. It looks amazing. The Apache helicopter is doing some really cool flying stunts. And then the helicopter that catches all that footage, they have done an amazing job, and it's going to look great on the big screen. Once again, I'm going to leave you a link for both videos in the description box below. Don't miss out. Do check that out. It looks great. Last thing I want to talk about is some casting news. No, this is very interesting. Actor Julia Kaiser, never heard of her, but she is cast in Transformers last night. She posted it on her Instagram. Now get this, when I wanted to go back to that Instagram post, it was deleted, okay? Now, the plot thickens. Why was it announced, and why was it deleted immediately after? Maybe they don't want, maybe the production just doesn't want people to know, who's going to be in it. Maybe, I don't know, but there's, it's really odd that the post was made this morning and then suddenly it's deleted. It's no longer there. Okay. Now the big news is, of course, I'm sure you guys already know, Tyrese is back. Tyrese is back as Sergeant Epps. He's been wanting to be back to the Transformers films since Age of Extinction. He wasn't there, but now he is back. And I'm just thinking, like I said before, you cannot have Colonel Lennox, Lieutenant Colonel Lennox, without Sergeant Epps. They work together, they have good chemistry together, and Tyrese is back. He posted it all over social media, and it's pretty exciting. I'm actually pretty excited about this. Originally, I wasn't that excited, but now I'm seeing everything come together, and it looks like this is a reunion of sorts. It's just like the Fast and Furious films, where you have actors in one film and another set of actors in another film. They're coming all together, and it looks like that is what's going on. So I would love to see what's going to happen with the interactions between Lieutenant Colonel Lennox and Sergeant Epps, with Cade Yeager. That's going to be really interesting how the stories will tie in together. So really exciting about that. And anyways, that's all I have for you guys. Not much to talk about in terms of new robot stuff. But I think that we've seen a lot of robot characters already. So I don't know if they're going to introduce more. Knowing Michael Bay, we will be seeing more robot characters. But here's something that I'd like to throw out there. There's been a lot of these military vehicles with the upside down V. A lot of people are suggesting that, you know, they could be evil human characters, evil like military characters, or rogue or renegade military human characters that are working with Decepticons. The thing is that we've seen that kind of thing before. We've seen Decepticons working with humans in Dark of the Moon and also Age of Extinction, and seeing it again it just feels kind of like been there, done that. So that's why I feel that that's kind of silly, and I actually don't think that's going to happen. One of the main reasons why I don't think that's going to happen is because we haven't seen any military personnel yet. We just haven't. So I'm just thinking, I'm throwing it out there, that I'm thinking that with these photos of Decepticons rolling out with military vehicles, it's possible that Decepticons somehow have control of the vehicles. I'm just throwing it out there. They could be Decepticon drones, and by drones I mean nameless Decepticon characters that don't really play a huge part because they're just nameless. They're kind of background soldiers, you know what I'm saying? So I'm just thinking that this could be Michael Bay's interpretation of Combaticons, okay? I'm just doing some serious wishful thinking. I hope it is, because if it's Combaticons, then of course you get Bruticus, and I would love to see Bruticus. I've been wanting Combaticons for a long time. Michael Bay, of course, has a huge, strong relationship, positive relationship with the military, so I'm just thinking, why not do this? I mean, have some fun with it. But who knows? It's just some wishful thinking. It could happen. It might not. But like I said before, I think that Decepticons have control of military vehicles, and they're going to do something with it. So anyways, that's all I got to say for you guys in this episode. And I know I didn't do any shoutouts, and I know I didn't answer any of the questions that you tweeted at me on Twitter. I will get back to them. I promise I will answer those questions on the next video. And the thing is that this video has gone for way too long, so putting out answers to your questions would take just another 10 minutes, and then we're gonna have a half-hour episode. But anyways, that's all I gotta say in this video. For those that are tuning in, this is of course The Road to TF5. This is a web series where we talk about the production of Transformers Last Night from the very beginning to the very end, and then we're gonna talk about the rest of the Transformers cinematic universe. But I don't just have this one channel. I have another channel called the Ragin Review, youtube.com/RaginRonaReview. Why don't you head over there, hit that subscribe button. That is where I talk about news for other movies. For example, Star Wars, Marvel films, DC Extended Universe films, and other films that are, you know, in the science fiction, fantasy, action genre and have a lot of fandom attached to it. I do a lot of updates for those films, and I also do movie reviews. So head over to the Ragin Review and you know, show some support by hitting that subscribe button, and there you have it. Anyways, that's all I gotta say in this episode. What do you guys think about anything that I've talked about? As always, post your comments on the comment section down below, and if you like this video, hit the like button, subscribe to the YouTube channel, like me on Facebook, The Ragin Nation. Also follow me on Twitter at Ragin Nation. My name's Alex Yu. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Peace. Pretty cool from Sabertron.com, and the first album here, what really stands out is this big red truck. Now,